I'm not sure if I should be doing a review on a board game called Pandemic when we're in the middle of a pandemic. Seems like a really bad idea. Wonder if I should really go through with this. Well, we're doing it anyway. Buckle up because we're doing a first impressions thought on Pandemic Season 0. Greetings fellow nerds, welcome to another Nerdville video. This time we will be reviewing a legacy game called Pandemic Season 0. So if you're into any sort of board games, video games, anything in the anime or TV show world, be sure to consider hitting that subscribe button so that I can see you in the next future videos. So this time around, we're going to be reviewing a game called Pandemic Season 0. And you might be asking, Season 0? What the heck does that even mean? Well, Pandemic already came out with a Season 1 and a Season 2. So you'd think, well, they should go to Season 3 because that's the next number in line. So why in the world did they go to 0? And to break it down, essentially what Pandemic is doing with Pandemic Season 0 is that it's going to the origins of the entire plot. How did this entire disease come to be in the first place? So if you've played the original Pandemic, you know how the game works. There's a disease spreading and you and a couple of teammates go around eradicating the disease, finding cures, and then giving that cure to the world. And if you've played any legacy games, you know that legacy games permanently change how you play in the future. These are usually indicated by putting stickers on the board that will affect certain areas. You'll put stickers on certain characters that will make them weaker or usually stronger in most cases. And perhaps more importantly, you add additional rules as you continue playing the game, and you also make big choices that directly affect the story and the outcome in the future. Now you might be wondering, how does the plot of Season 0 come into play when we've already got the original game, Season 1, Season 2, and a bunch of other expansions? Well, those games are revolved around the idea that the virus is already spread around the world, and Season 0 is the origin of how this virus came to be, and that is the Soviets, and particularly the Russian area, have started creating this malicious virus, and your job is to go as an undercover agent with your fellow teammates to see what exactly is going on and what exactly is the virus that's being developed. Now, if you know me, you know that I love legacy games. It's because the game always changes and it's always fun to make really big choices, usually as a team or individually. There have been a lot of good legacy games, but also a few bad apples. I think the best legacy games are ones that require a lot of interaction, but more importantly, have a unique story behind it. So Betrayal on the House on the Hill is one of my favorite legacy games because honestly, it's more about the story rather than the board changing or, finding new rooms throughout your time playing. It's honestly more about the story that you're creating with your friends and kind of understanding the plot as you further dive into the house. And again, this is only a first impressions. I've only played Pandemic Season 0 3 times with my friends. Right now, we've only played the prologue once, which is like a freebie. That's basically the game saying, here's a way for you to try out the game without any consequences. So the decisions and the actions, whether you win or lose, will have no outcome in the future. But once you get into Chapter 1 of the game, then it's for real. And I have to say, we utterly got wrecked in the prologue, and then we thought, okay, we got this figured out. We understand how the game actually works. We're gonna beat when we play for real, and we actually ended up doing worse. And luckily, I think the game understood that you were gonna mess up a couple of times, so they allow you to do Chapter 1 again, and we had succeeded much better this time around. So what do I love about the game? Well, the premise is that you are going as undercover agents and they let you have a lot of fun. They give you like stickers for your different alibis. So right now I have one character with a fedora and a nice suit, and another friend is he kind of portrayed himself as a homeless dude. Not really sure how that works when you're going undercover, but that was his option, and it was just a lot of fun to kind of do that, even though it actually has no effect on the gameplay. But more importantly, the story is driving our gameplay. It's very important for us to succeed because there's something usually big on the line if we fail. And the concept of going as underground agents, defeating different Soviets, finding out where our missing allies are, finding out the missing information we might need in another country, is just a lot of fun, and you kind of really get immersed into the game because of that. But more importantly, this is a team game, and this is one where you want to play with friends that kind of agree that, hey, I'm ultimately making the decision at the end, but we can discuss as a group what I can do or what we can do as a team. And I have to say, I am very fortunate to be playing with friends that kind of are on the same page as that, and I'm also very grateful that I have much smarter friends than me because they give me advice and I go, oh yeah, that's a lot smarter. But it's fun having that interaction with each other. But what's also interesting about the game is that you get to also make your own decision at the end. And so far what I've seen is that when a person completes the objective, so you're working as a team, so you're kind of building steps to complete an objective, but ultimately one person will complete the objective that's on the board, and the final decision goes to them. So for instance, when one of our teammates found some information about the virus, they had the option to either give it to our government CIA head or to keep it for themselves. And we had all just kind of agreed that, you know, they get to make the decision. We don't, you know, we can say our piece, but they get to make the decision, and they get to decide if they want to share what they did with us. And the fun thing is that the person who did when I played chose not to, and it kind of creates this whole mystery behind the entire plot. She might share it later on, who knows, but I really like the idea that this story is building within a board game. So I have to say this, out of all the legacy games I've played Risk, I've played Betrayal in the House of Hill, I played Charterstone, I'm playing Gloomhaven right now, playing Pandemic Season 0, obviously. I'm going to say this, I think Pandemic Season 0 is my favorite legacy, and I've just started playing. If you want my quick thoughts, honestly, just go grab the game. Might be a little, I guess, insensitive to play the game when we're in the middle of pandemic, but it is seriously my favorite legacy game. And again, I just started. Now again, be sure that you're playing with friends that, you know, that you can cooperate with, that, you know, you won't get butthurt if, you know, someone is, you know, giving too much advice. You know, it's a team game. You want to have those social interactions, but you also want to be on the same page. There are times in the original Pandemic where someone who knows the game inside and out will tell other people what to do, and that's really not what this is designed to do. This is designed for you to work as a team, but also share your thoughts, but again, allowing the person who's controlling the character to make the ultimate decision. So keep that in mind as you think about the friends you want to play with and as you consider buying this game. So in my book, as a legacy game, this game is a 10 out of 10, hands down, first impressions. So we'll see how my ratings change and my thoughts on the game change as I continue playing the game with my friends, but I'm pretty confident that this will be my favorite legacy game as I continue playing. So should you get the game? Well, I mean, I hope that I've convinced you that you should get the game. It's fantastic. The plot is the best out of, and again, I've only just started playing, but the plot is probably the best out of every legacy game. And I'm just excited to keep delving into finding out the secrets and the origins of the virus that created the pandemic viruses in the first place. So that's all I have for you today, fellow nerds. I hope that you found this video informative. I didn't want to spoil too much. As you can tell, I was avoiding exactly what was happening in our plot, but I hope that this gave you a better idea whether if you wanted to buy the game or not. And if you're new to the legacy system in general, I encourage you to try it. It's been a great innovation to the board game world, and I feel like this is probably a great game to start out with as well because it's not competitive, you're working as a team. So I would honestly suggest this to anyone who's played the original, anyone who's new to legacy, anyone who enjoys team building or team cooperative games. Maybe not so much to people who are like fiercely competitive and only thrive off competitive games and not team building, but you know, it's just a great game overall, and I would say it's well worth the money spent, and you could probably split it with your friends as well. So if you stuck around this far, be sure to subscribe to see me do a full review of the game when I finish with my friends. I'll be doing other reviews as well, such as Assassin's Creed Valhalla, a couple Netflix originals I've been watching. I've been really enjoying the Netflix original animes. I don't know if you've seen those, but I'll be doing reviews on those as well. So again, if you're here, if you like this video, if you found it informative and you're interested to see what else the nerdy world has to offer from my perspective, whether it be Star Wars, gaming, video games, again, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I believe at this point YouTube is showing you a video of my most recent video. Could be me playing Magic, or could be a review or of some sort of thing in the nerd world. And there's also a video that YouTube thinks you'll like, so be sure to check those out. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you for your next Nerd Fill.